Mark Holcomb is the Mayor of Mansfield in Victoria, and he joins us now from Mansfield. Mark, g'day. So, what was it like when this quake happened within the last hour there at the epicentre?
Well, it came right out of left field. We don't have earthquakes here that I'm aware of, and none of the locals I've spoken to this morning knew about have had experience with earthquakes here before. So it's one right of left field. And it was just a really big rumbler. Sorry.
Yeah. So how strong was it? What did it feel like?
Well, it was really strong. I was actually sitting down doing some work at my desk, and then I had to run outside because it took me a while to work out what it was, and it seemed to go on for a lot more than. I've been in earthquakes overseas before, and it seemed to go on a lot more than my experience in them before. And it was the other thing that was really surprising was how noisy it was. It was a real rumbling, like a big truck going past.
And are you aware of any damage in the Mansfield area? We've already seen some pictures of some damage in Melbourne.
No, I'm not. In ringing around and speaking to various people around the Shire, not as yet. People were running out on the streets, out of their shops, etc. But no damage that we're aware of. It's only early days. Though there are some problems with telecommunications. So there's some of the phone lines that I've had trouble getting through. So we've just got to work out what they are.
And Mark, so when you say you ran out, so are you kind of in the Shire offices there, or are you at home?
No, I'm at home. I live on a farm just outside. So I ran outside the house to see if there's any damage, which doesn't appear to be. But I could hear it rumbling across the valley for quite some time after. And quite interestingly enough, all the bird life went berserk. So that was a real sign that there was something quite wrong.
And were you kind of that concerned that you ran outside because you were concerned about the ability of the house to withstand the rumble, or was that mainly just to see if anything had happened outside?
No, I was concerned about the building,
to
be honest. Because as I said, I've been in earthquakes before overseas, and I was a little bit concerned about just to make sure I got outside, yeah.
And so did anything fall off shelves, or were there things kind of, were there paintings or things hanging on the wall swinging around?
No, there wasn't. Again, I've seen that in an earthquake before as well, but no, there wasn't. I've had feedback from in town that fly screens and that sort of thing were falling off windows. But no, certainly in my place that was not the case, fortunately.
And how long have you lived in Mansfield, and have you felt anything like this before at all in that area?
I've been here a bit over 20 years, and no, I'm not aware of anything like this at all before. No.
Never even felt a tremor before?
No, never a tremor before. And the locals I've spoken to have never had it's only the few that I've spoken to so far, they've had no experience of it, and they've been here a lot longer than I have.
Yeah. And Mark, you mentioned that you've experienced some quakes overseas. Taking into account that this appears to have been a magnitude 6 and at a depth of 10 k's, are you feeling pretty lucky that at this stage anyway there doesn't appear to have been any substantial damage in the area you are, if you're right on top of it?
Yeah, I wasn't aware that was the size of the quake. Yes, in that case, I'm feel very relieved that there's been little damage so far that we've been able to pick up on. So in that case, we're very lucky.
Yeah,
very
and
lucky.
Actually, it's just been revised down. Initially, Geosciences Australia was saying it was a 6, but now it's actually been revised down and really significantly down to a 4. So I guess, that's good news.
Yeah, that probably explains why there was no painting swinging on the walls and stuff like that.
Yeah, but even if it was a 4, the damage, it was felt in such a broad area. They're saying like from Adelaide up to Newcastle.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, well, right. And the centre of it was here, I believe, so from what I've been told so far.
Yeah, it's mentioned. I don't know if there's any revision from that latest Geosciences Australia information on as to the location, but initially they were saying it actually still does say Mansfield, but downgraded to a Category 4, but still at a depth of 10 k's.
Yeah.
Okay, Mark. Well, and tell us about what are the kind of the closest main towns to Mansfield?
Our closest towns are Benalla, Yea, Seymour, Wangaratta, we're in that sort of area.
Yeah, and you obviously haven't heard of any issues in those other spots.
No, not as yet. No, nothing at all. So, though it's only very early days, so I really haven't got outside of our shire in terms of speaking to people.
Yeah. Okay, Mark, Mayor of Mansfield, thanks so much for having a chat to us.
Thanks, Joe. Thank you for your time. Thank you.